Well, hey, good afternoon, folks. Sitting in a 2024 Chevy 2500 that I purchased last September. Been slowly doing a few things here and there to it. This one right here is pretty cool. This is normally kind of a little cubby hole to store stuff in. That was an inverted press. And bullet point mounting solutions. Saw advertisements about it on Facebook. Started checking into them and thought it was a pretty cool deal. They make a phone mounting solution, and I decided that this truck does not have wireless charging, which Boost Auto makes something that you can do wireless charging, but I haven't decided if I want to do that yet. So what I did is I went with this. You can put your phone in that. It's nice and solid and steady. You can mount more stuff to it. I've got a place that right here that I can mount the GoPro up on that if I want to. I've actually got the little mount to it somewhere in here. I think it's right there. Yep. So there's the GoPro mount. I haven't used it yet. Maybe I'll use it today. But anyway, the purpose of today's video is we've got a fun little goodie. Bought this. Where does it say at? There we go. iDash Pro. I want to monitor some extra things that this truck doesn't give you. Mainly it's a 10-speed transmission, so I'd kind of like to know what gear I'm in. It's kind of hard to count that many gears. It shifts so quick. And monitor some EGTs, and this has a digital display. I'll give you a little brief look at it. There you go, right there. And really the only thing digital about it is you can set the trans temp to come up digitally right there. Everything else is pretty, it doesn't give you exact numbers, just kind of gives you little gauges here and there. So I'd like to do that. So this is going to go right here. These little covers were, well, that one's the bottom one, I think, were right there. What I did was I have this, well, it's actually an orange peeler, but kind of like a little pry tool that you could buy online. Popped it in here, and those popped off real easy. And these are 10mm bolts I've read online. And then we're going to pull this out and try to install this iDash. So I'm going to get things unwrapped and read some instructions. I think you're supposed to unhook the batteries just in case there is an airbag behind this right here, so we don't accidentally set that off. That'd be a bad day. So we're going to try my hand at this and have you follow along. Well, I just realized I goofed up. So this is going to be the first part of the video, and whenever I get around to installing it again, because I bought this cup here and I checked. I was pretty sure I ordered the correct one, but I don't know if you can see that or not, but I bought the one for a work truck or a custom model, and mine is an LT. Oops. So it will not fit. So I guess we're going to have to see if I can return it, or if I have to pony up the money to buy another one and see if I can get rid of this one somehow. Anyway, stay tuned and we'll put those back together and see what happens. Maybe I can at least get the iDash out and plug it in and watch it work. I just won't be able to actually install it. So stay tuned. Well, I decided while we're here, we'll go ahead and at least pop this iDash out, see what it looks like. Maybe we can get it programmed how I want it, and then once I do get it installed, it'll just be a real plug and play. So just had this little thing I had to cut right here. So let it off the box. Let's take a look at what's inside. Wow. I knew this wasn't very big, but that seems smaller than what I thought it was going to be, I guess. Interesting. Well, what's in the bottom? There's the cord. We got some zip ties. And a sticker. Well, let's at least plug it in and see how it works. So this right here was in the box with it. Has a little deal on all the how-to videos for it. So we might have to go check those out here in a few minutes if we can't figure things out. Okay, I've got the cord plugged into the OBD2 port down there. We're going to plug this in for the first time here. We'll say we are. Ah, there we go. Just going to try to plug it in wrong. There we go. Get you in line there. iDash Pro by Banks Power. What do we preset at? Well, let's start the truck and see what happens. Nifty. Well, let's see if I can figure out how to get all the things I want to on there, and then I'll show you how to do that whenever I figure that out. Okay, so I'm back. We're not going to get to install because it's still the same day and I don't have the parts, so we'll have to call them. But we are doing a little updating. Signed into the Banks app. We're doing a little downloading here. I'm downloading over the air, not with Wi-Fi or anything. I was at the house, but didn't want to connect to Wi-Fi here on this side of the garage, and so I'd already clicked the button. So we're going to see how long it takes over there. I don't have the best service here. But I've been playing around with it a little bit, trying to update some pages. And once I kind of get that a little more complete, I'll kind of show you what I did and what I chose to do. And then we'll probably let it ride like this on the drive home tonight and at least be able to see what it reads out anyway. Excited to have this plugged into a couple other trucks while I was able to, just to see what it would do. And that was kind of interesting as well. And yeah, well, keep following along for some more updates. Well, I've been fiddling around here for just a little bit, doing odds and ends and that, and making short trips around just to kind of see what this reads. I got the iDash kind of sitting sideways up on the dash right now, but what's really cool is you can connect it to your phone on the app and it tells you all the same information. Like before I took the RPM off, which I don't really need, everything's not as quite as quick, because it's Bluetooth, but it still tells you everything. So anyway, what I've got stuff set to here is this one right here in the corner tells me whether my regen is active or not. So if it is actively regenning, I believe it'll say ACT active. That is my current diesel particulate filter soot load. Was at 45 earlier today, so it's already come up a little bit just from idling around. That right there was a preset parameter, the engine load. I don't know if I'm going to use it to keep it on there, but for now it seems interesting. That's my engine temperature. It stays relatively the same on the dash. It's the lower one right there. And that never really changes, so I'm curious to see how high that actually will get, whether it get up to 200, 210, or when you're driving around or not. This right here is boost pressure. That's turbo vane position. That's your average distance between regens, and then that's what gear I'm in, which right now I'm in Parker neutral. So anyway, we're gonna play around with this, probably have it connected on the way home tonight, and then I may disconnect it since it's not really hooked up great. And probably the next time I jump back in the video here, hopefully I have the right part and we can get it put together. See you next time. So it's a few days later here, and I haven't got this installed in the pillar yet, but I do have the parts. But I thought I'd show you what it looks like when it's in regen. Just started the truck, been driving it about 5 minutes. She's up to temp now on the temp gauge, and this popped up to 102 actually on the DPF soot load, and just started active. So let's get on her and get her cleaned out on the way to the farm this morning. Well, the regen completed. I hopped into a store real quick, made a quick stop. It was at 24%. I left the truck running, and I was going to come back out and finish it, and it was down to 14 and shut off while I was in the store for just a minute. And now it says off and dropped another point, so I guess we'll have to see what happens another time when I run it, whether it'll get it all the way down to 0 if I keep driving it or not. So see you next time. Well, maybe we'll get this installed in the next clip. Actually, it came back on, so I guess it's going to complete it. It just shut off while I was idling, so I thought maybe it'd keep going. So anyway, I got about another 10 miles to drive, so I'm guessing it'll complete fairly handily. So it did end up completing. It got down to 1% and it shut off. I just drove around another extra couple miles and got on her pretty good, and she went right on down. The last mile or so, I locked it in fourth gear at about 30 mile an hour, running 2,000, 2,100 RPM, and finished her up. because I was about to the farm, so I thought I'd see what keeping the RPMs up would do. Now we're cooling down there on the EGTs. We were running over 1,000 at times there, and I don't think that's the, I think I got that set to the second sensor, not the first one, so the first one probably would have been even hotter. So I'll have to play around with that and figure out exactly which sensor is what. We'll let her cool down here for a little bit on the last little bit to the farm. So another thing for you guys, I'll show you, is right now my def has 0 bars, and they're not even anything on the little bar here. The time I did that, I didn't know anything, and I dumped 2.5 in it and went up to about half on the bars. The Banks deal, it's still, the engine still thinks it has 20%. So that's interesting with that. And when the truck was brand new and it was full, I didn't go to full bars either, and that was kind of a common thing I noticed. So probably have a lot more depth than you think you might if you're just running off your gauge, which they probably don't want you to run out. So probably ought to dump a 2.5 in this. Well, hey, good afternoon. It's about a week later from the original part of this video, and the afternoon of the clip from the truck going through Regen this morning. Got the right part now. It's got this big long piece that's going to fit in there. So let's get these popped off the A pillar. I'll show you how I do it this time. It was honestly really pretty easy. Yeah, it just pops right off. Easier than I thought it would. And now we're going to undo these 2 bolts here. Oops, got the ratchet the wrong way. Careful not to hit my windshield. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that was the right way. Hit the windshield once. Alright, well, I'm going to get these bolts out, and then we'll see if we can get this pillar pulled off. Okay, so what I've been told here is that this pulls straight out, and then you have to pull it out of the deal there. So we're going to give this a shot. Oh, it's going to come fairly easy, I hope. Yep, just came right out of the clip. Oh, the clip stayed in it. And then we'll guide it up out of here, because we gotta, that's the airbag that we wanted to be careful about. Don't want to pull that or anything. That part's not wanting to come out very easy. There we go. That wasn't too bad. This little clip stayed in there. It's supposed to stay on this. So this little clip here was supposed to stay on here and pull out. So I guess we'll have to pinch that, maybe. See if we can get that clip to come out. Well, we'll work on that off camera and work on getting the next project done. So getting ready to route the cord here. So you pull this part of the dash out just a little bit so you can get to it easier, and then this plate pulls out. These are just plastic clips on this one, and they actually come out really easy. So that wasn't too tough at all. We're going to snake the cord up through here and have it pop out through here, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get done. Well, after a few tries, I got it fished up through the A pillar there. Sorry it's a little dark in here today, but eventually we'll wire tie or zip tie it all up in there and make it to where you can still connect it down there, or disconnect it down there, but not have it hang too low. So now we're going to work on getting the hole drilled in the A pillar here. So Banks sends you everything you need here. Here's a step bit, which I've actually never used one before, so this will be an experience. And here's a longer bolt, and then an Allen wrench to tighten it. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I'm assuming that is supposed to go on the inside of that, but I will do some investigating and see if I can figure that out. Anyway, well, let's get my drill and we'll see if we can drill a hole. So we're going to drill a hole in this bottom part here, and it connects here, and then the hole for the cable is on this part of that Banks deal. Actually, I'll grab it and show you that real quick. So here's how this is gonna sit in here, just like that. Double check that it fits, and it does. And so then here's the hole right here, and it's a big hole, but I don't need it super big. But in case I ever, I mean, I assume at some point in my life I'll sell this truck. You never know. But to put it back to stock, it'd be nice to retain this little keeper here, but it will, that would hold it on there. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm going to try to not make it get into that too much. The step it as goes in increments of 2s, and I kind of held it up to the cord, and it kind of looks like I need size 14. So we'll probably go to there and then see what we can come up with. See if I can try to do this and not screw it up. Definitely not big enough yet. Well, that's a lot thicker than I thought it was. This side looks like it's big enough. I might go see if I can find a regular drill bit instead of using this step drill bit. That way I don't get it any bigger than it needs to be. Timeout. We're going to check it out. Okay, I grabbed a 3/8 drill bit, 25/32, I believe, and a 7/16. And I think the 7/16 is plenty big, but so we're going to try the 3/8 first, which that didn't take much to finish that out. So let's go check it on the cord and see if it'll fit. Got a little piece of plastic there that I'll kind of make sure it's deburred and stuff before we finalize it in there. So that one is not quite big enough to get the connector through, and the cable is a flat cable, not a round cable. That didn't seem like it did much. And maybe I just need to run the step bit through the other direction now that I know where the hole's at. Then I don't have to make it any bigger than it has to be. Okay, that seemed like it did something. We'll go check it again. So the hole's almost big enough now. I went back to the step bit because I actually needed bigger than the bit I had. And I went to number 12 on the step bit, and I went in through the back and the front so I didn't have to get any bigger. The connector goes through, but it's very snug, and if you have to pull it back out, you may have to fiddle with it so you don't break the connecting tab. But I think no more than I'm probably going to pull it apart, which hopefully is never. I don't know that I really want to make that hole any bigger. So I think we're going to call the hole drilling process good. Maybe I'll put the big bit in there and waller it out just a hair. We'll see. Well, I took the big bit, wallered it out a little bit. I think we're ready to go. Let's go over and see if the cable goes in a little better this time. Sorry it's dark up in here, but it's drizzling out today, and I don't have lights in this shed. Oh yeah, slid right in there. Good deal. Well, I got that pesky clip out after trying, and I made sure I took it out the way it was. So the clips that were facing towards the pillar, or towards the outside of the truck, would go on the top basically, or Yeah, the top of it is how it would be the best described. I think we're ready to try to put this thing back in there. And just for reference, I think this clip right here is supposed to be there for cab lights, which is something I may consider trying to do to this truck in the future. We'll see. And if it might be something I put in the Chevy factory ones, or see if I can figure out how to get the wiring harness and even put aftermarket in ones, but use the actual wire harness rather than having a bunch of extra wires down there. We'll see. But we're going to feed this cord through the hole that I drilled, which is the whole reason we took this off, and to run the cord, obviously. Darn, still a little tight. There we go. And we want enough slack in here that it can slide back and forth some. See if I can wiggle this down into here. Not sure, maybe seems like it's more difficult than it ought to be. Try not to bump the airbag too much, but I want all this to be inside. I don't want a whole lot of cord through there, because then I'm going to have to pull it all back out. Darn. It's tougher than it seems like it ought to be. Well, showing you real world, folks. Thing is, people on video make it seem easy, but I would not say that this is easy so far. I don't want to be gentle and not break stuff. Seems to be maybe going. Got caught up on the speaker there. That seems to be my problem down here, is this little tabby there. There we go. Kind of decided it could pop in now. There we go. I think we'll kind of try to make sure this little clip is going to hit where it needs to, and I think it will. And it slid back underneath this weather seal that's right here on the other side that you can't see. It actually snapped in real nice. It looks nice. We've got slack for our cord to move in and out. So I guess we'll put this top bolt back in. We'll see if we can get the other one back in. I think everything here looks normal. Of course, I dropped the wrench. That there maybe popped out a little bit, but it kind of looks like it is on the other side. Oh! I read that you want them tight, but you don't want to absolutely wrench them down. All right, now we're ready to weave this through here. And I did look, or at least, oh, there's the bolt, right in front of the camera. So that little washer that I mentioned earlier, I don't think the only reasonable place for it is to be on the end of that and goes inside here. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide that through. This may not be the most fun thing I've ever done because the bolt is on the inside of this like that. but we'll figure it out. I'll cross-thread it. I just want to make sure it's, looks like it's going in good before I put it in there too far. Oh yeah, we're going in. We'll seat it in here and tighten this up, I guess, and then I think we're on the downhill slide. Let me get this tightened up. Well, we got her on here. That bolt, it's kind of dark in there. See if I can get you some light. There we go. There it looks in there. There, that's a good shot. How it comes through. Yeah, we're ready to plug this iDash in. So this is an iDash Pro. So I'd kind of read that they were, apologize, I'm sweating a little bit from just being extra humid out here. But when I ordered this, I didn't realize that they had just released a new product not that long ago. I knew they were maybe working on something, but there was a iDash Super Gauge and an iDash Data Pro was the previous, and this is iDash Pro and iDash Pro Data or something like that. Don't quote me on the second round. But anyway, so some of the stuff in here was looking a little different, and so I was confused when I was setting it up. But overall, I think it still works the same. And I don't know if the old one does or not, but this one has an app that you can connect to that's easier to rearrange stuff, which is really cool. It explains to you stuff what a little more is. So I'll have to show you some of that after we finish getting it routed and set up here. So if you look in there, it's got a 4-pin plug and a 6-pin plug. The 6-pin is if you're going to connect more than one iDash together, and then also run a Pedal Monster or Derringer or something like that, I believe. I'm not sure what the other pin right there is. I would have to do a little research. But we're going to plug this into that harness, and then we'll probably finally remove the protector. And it is a specific way. The clip is at the top because the top two pieces are square and the bottom ones have little deals. So we're gonna pull this cord a little bit and pop it in there, and I think if you it looks like it's pretty well locked in there. It doesn't turn or anything. We'll go ahead and pull the protective screen off of it now that I kind of have it more in final place, I think. And I don't remember whether these are the same or not. Nope. The top and bottom ones for this are not identical. So pop that one back in. I would say this is a pretty decent fit. You could take that back off and paint it. I know people that say they have painted it, but I think I'll probably just run it the way it is. Well, I'll put a little zip tie right here, you can see, and then zip tied it to itself a couple other places down in there. Kind of looking to make sure that nothing's going to rub or anything too bad there. And I think we'll make sure that we can still get that unplugged if we need to. We've got to put this side panel back on. But other than that, the install is complete. May show you guys a few clips of setting it up or making it work or something like that. But if I don't get that done, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see the next time. See ya. All right, here's the first startup after the complete install. So there's what we're showing right now. Now it's going to tell us we're in reverse. There's a slight delay on the transmission, I noticed, but nothing that is too alarming. You can kind of tell when it shifts. Sometimes it's just hard to know what gear you're really in, especially if you took off fast. But I figured out that honestly that's probably largely doesn't matter what gear you're in, because over 45 mile an hour thereabouts, you're more than likely going to be in 10th gear unless you're towing would be my guess. I haven't towed with this yet to know what that says. Folded my mirrors out so I don't back into anything, even though we got lots of fancy tech in here. Even got a front camera. That's kind of interesting.